All right, it is Tuesday. Welcome to another episode of the Sunshine State Happy Hour, powered by Florida Beer Blog and the Florida Beer Podcast. I cannot begin to describe everything that I've seen our next guests doing before I press the go live button. Trust me, you don't want to either. I just suffice to say that it really isn't suitable for anybody under the age of 45. But we're going to do this anyways. I'd like to welcome everybody from the Sanford Brew Crew. We have Rob and Laura Wilson.
Hey!
And we have Jamie and Jen Beck.
Woo!
Of the four of you, who is most likely to have a wanted poster in the post office right now?
Oh, gosh, Rob, yeah.
Yeah. True story. May have already happened.
Not even going to hide that. Hi, Ashley. I don't know who
Ashley, she's
is.
full on brew reviews.
Oh, hi, Ashley. How you doing?
She's our really good friend.
Oh, cool. We'll have to get her on another episode of the podcast. Excellent.
Yeah, she's awesome.
So, am I correct in thinking that you created the term Sanfording?
I don't think we created
I'm
it,
sure
although
we were.
we used it a lot way back.
Yeah.
In the day.
I've never.
Yeah, I don't know that we actually created it, but I think
Yeah.
we used it a
I
bunch.
don't know
and
who created
probably
it,
took
actually.
Okay. Well,
off. I'll have to do
Well-
some research.
Yeah.
We'll have to ask
well, I guess. Well, Ashley's chopping up potatoes. She just wanted to let you know. Well, I guess. What is Sanford, and then what is Sanfording? We'll go with that.
Eric.
Who wants to answer that one? Sanford is, I guess, just a bunch of awesome people with one site and really one goal to have fun and to create an environment that's family friendly, but at the same time, lots of food, lots of beer, and lots of live music, and being able to golf cart from one place to the next and have a safe time and have fun doing it.
And what's cool is that like all the businesses work together to promote the city. The commissioners are good. The mayor's good. Everybody's really trying to work together to promote our little city.
Yeah, when Laura and I first moved here to Sanford, the only time you really went downtown was to go to Hollerbox and, have some German food and, drink some Das Boots. But other than that, there wasn't really a whole lot going on. Now there's almost 5 breweries. There's a cidery. There's a distillery. There's tons of restaurants. And it's a really, really, really fun place to go. Yeah. I mean, if anyone's going downtown Sanford, we want to join them. So when Jamie and Jen
I think that didn't the city commissioners, they all went to Asheville and they wanted to emulate that whole feel and how you can walk to breweries. So they went up there and tried to look at Asheville and see what they could bring to Sanford in that kind of aspect.
And to be honest with you, I had no idea Sanford was the way that it was, and it wasn't until watching the four of you terrorize everything in downtown Sanford that I took a look, and it's amazing. You can park in one place and basically hit everything. And I want to talk about everything because I knew the four. I didn't realize that there was a fifth coming. I didn't realize that you had a cider, and I definitely want to chat about all of those. But the first thing that we do have to do is take a round robin as to who's drinking what. So I'm going to go for Jamie first. You go.
Well, I'm staying close to Sanford. I'm in Lake Mary. I've got Genetic Brewing. They're right down the street from Sanford. It's a blonde ale, all Florida hops from Fox Farm hops. It's just a light, easy drinking beer.
Excellent.
And I am drinking, it's a collab from Deviant and Hourglass. And it's a dry hop dry slogger, and it's delicious.
Rob's got the Deviant Wolf hat on. So, Rob, since you were there with the hat, Laura, why don't you go next?
Oh, I'm representing little Wop Top. So, this is their first IPA. What is it called? I think it's their IPA that they have on tap, and it's delicious.
Doesn't know what she's drinking. That's an occupational hazard. It happens a lot. Only to be soon to be followed up with what brewery are we at?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's one of them.
That's when you know you're having a good time when that question comes out.
What is it? Girl from IPA. That's what it is.
So
There we go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drink some Hoods Up. This is a buddy of ours, Tim Goodman, makes delicious beer. So this is a whatever you say, Daddy-O. It's a coffee Kolsch.
Nice. Steve, this is why I'm telling you we have to go to Sanford. We need to just spend
I know.
the entire
I've been
day.
listening for about 5 minutes now, and I'm excited to go to Sanford.
I know, it's amazing. Steve, what are you Steve, what are you drinking?
I am going all the way to the West Coast with Infinite Wishes from Smog City Brewing. It is super good.
Steve wants to
super dark.
Wow,
It's been one of those work days today, and it's beer.
because Steve always
Well,
likes
cheers.
to well, hold on, I'm sure, Steve, did you try yours yet? I am actually doing the
Not
Belgian
yet.
triple
That will be
bunker
on my
for my friends
that'll be
out
on
of
my Twitch stream tonight.
nice for my friends out of Three Daughters in St. Pete.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love
Had a
$3.
beautiful.
Like
Yeah, it's
that.
funny. They have 3 releases right now in their small batch series, and Steve and I, there's one they're New England, and then their Florida Orange IPA, both of which I know, Steve, you're a huge fan of.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Sounds yummy.
Oh
They
my
do a good
goodness.
job. That's a cool brewery.
Yeah, they're really great people. And well, but let's talk about the people in Sanford because, of the beers that you've tried, I know Ivanhoe Park gave us a little shout out. I've been there. I've got a Joyland IPA in my beer fridge. So
Nice.
just saving on a rainy day. And I've tried a little bit of Hourglass, but I haven't been able to go to the Deviant. I haven't been able to go to Wops Hops. I haven't been able to do all of those. So who is in Sanford? Why should we go to this amazing, wonderful wonderland under the sun?
Because the Sanford Brew Crew's here.
Yeah.
That's the reason.
We'll show you
Yeah.
why. Show you why.
Guaranteed to have a good time. Well,
I would say this beer, Sour Manjaro, is
Oh,
at
yeah.
Deviant Wolf, a coffee sour blonde that really is probably the beer that turned me on to sours.
Those are all words that don't go anywhere near each other.
No, you
Yeah,
wouldn't
it's
know.
totally true.
Coffee,
Correct.
sour, blonde.
Delicious.
Absolutely true.
Delicious.
it's
And that's
their
what
number
kinda-
one selling beer in the tap room, so everyone agrees.
Yeah.
They just canned it. They recently started canning beers too, and this is one of them.
And they sold
Yeah.
before they could even. It's faster than they ever thought. They sold all their Sour Manjaro. So it's, I think, one of the biggest selling points of Sanford. You're not going to drink a beer like it anywhere.
Interesting. There are 2 Deviant Wolf locations, correct?
No.
No.
You're thinking of Sanford Brewing Company.
Sanford Brewing. Just
No. There's another one.
Hourglass has 2 locations.
Hourglass.
Hourglass. There's another one. I can see it in my mind's eye, but it's escaping me. So Sanford obviously has Sanford Brewing,
Yep.
has Wops Hops,
Yep.
has Deviant Wolf,
And there's
Inner
Inner
Compass.
Compass.
Inner Compass. Okay.
Yep.
And then the
And
fifth is
then-
going to be D's Brothers.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what's interesting is that you kind of alluded to it. You're close to Maitland, and you can sort of just drag yourself down I-4, and eventually you'll be in downtown Orlando. But would you say that the brewing scene in Sanford is really its own sort of microcosm? It's not really a part of Central Florida. It's not really part of Orlando. It really is its own separate entity.
It's definitely part of the Orlando brewing community, but it's one of the few places where you can go and walk between breweries, and not just 1 to 2, but you got 4 or 5 going to be soon, and a great tap house with Celery City with 40 something beers on tap, and a great bottle shop there. So it's unique. There's a lot of great breweries in Central Florida, but for the most part, you go to one. And either you got to stay there, or you got to get in your car and drive somewhere else. There's a new shuttle that started. That
Orlando Airline.
it was before the shutdown happened. It was taking everybody. How many breweries do you guys recall? It's like
I
5 or
think
6.
5, yeah.
About that, yep. And it went round robin. You didn't have to set a schedule. It just kept on going, and you know, when you're ready to go,
Nice.
hop on to the next one. But it's not.
That's
Sanford.
cool. Well, I was going to
Sanford's
say, because, yeah, Sanford seems to be that sort of small, walkable city. You'd mentioned it with the golf carts and everything. How have things been recently in terms of the businesses keeping busy, everybody supporting them, and so on?
It's really sad what's happening everywhere. But we have a really good guy. His name's Will, and he's excuse me, head of downtown historic Sanford, and he's really trying to do a lot of promotions and stuff to help get people out and get to go cocktails, to go beer, promoting all the specials with the restaurants and everything. So he's trying pretty hard, but.
And I think a lot of people are getting out and taking advantage of that. Great deals. I mean, yeah, Celery City's got, you know, buy one get one growler. I mean, you can go out there and pick a couple of different beers every week, and you know, buy one get one. You can't beat that. It's sad to drive around and see the place just dead compared to what it usually is, because Sanford's usually hopping. I mean, hopping big time. But the community's doing a good job, and everybody is, especially on social media now, trying to support and push these different deals that the city's having to try to keep at least to-go stuff going.
Excellent. That's actually kind of amazing, too, for one, growlers.
Unbelievable.
It's kind of amazing.
Yeah,
Like
Have a lot of
64-ounce growlers.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Have a lot of them. You had mentioned that one of the breweries had just started canning. What kind of things have they been kind of forced to do? Sort of new, unique things that they've been forced to do to sort of survive that they didn't necessarily want to do, but you know, welcome to here we are.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the breweries here, Deviant, I know Intercompass, they're smaller breweries, and doing growler fills is great for them. I think they would rather sell more beer to more people instead of just filling up a 64-ounce growler. But a lot of places that weren't doing growlers before are doing growlers now, because that's the only way they can get their beer out there in people's mouths.
Excellent. So let's switch gears a little bit, because taking a look at your Instagram profile, that's at Sanford Brew Crew, it's a lot like Animal House, shall we say, just outdoors, and you do a great job of doing. I kind of coined this term as I was writing up notes for today, kind of the Abba of alcohol, because you are two couples. I'm proud of that one, by the way. You can use it on a t-shirt if you want. It's beautiful. You're very thorough, and there's a lot of pictures, and it's interesting to sort of see this happen. But how did this drinking club sort of get started, and why did you want to specifically stay focused on Sanford?
We'll let the Wilsons go.
Rob.
You're gonna let me answer that one.
It started with you and Jamie.
All right, I'll take a stab at that. So, we met Jen and Jamie through a method that lots of people our age do, through our kids. Our boys played tackle football together.
Yeah, we have seven kids between the two of us.
Oh, crap.
Jeez.
Yeah, we got a big brood. But so, we had briefly met, and unbeknownst to us, Jamie and Jen were big beer drinkers, and we were big beer drinkers. And the practice facility that our kids were at was across the street from Hourglass Brewing. So
there you go.
That's a horrible place to be.
Yeah, drop the boy off, and we'd run over to Hourglass and have a couple of beers. And if anyone's been involved with youth football, those practices are long, and it's hot, and it rains a lot. So we'd go hide out at Hourglass, and we didn't really know Jamie then. So poor Jamie sat over there at practice and suffered through the heat and whatnot. And eventually they invited us to they have twins, so it was their birthday. So Laura and I went over and hung out, and we started hanging out. And in fact, we were at Deviant Wolf drinking one day and said, you know what? We should just post all this stuff on the internet. I mean, we're out drinking, we're doing all this stuff. We love the beers, and we really, really enjoyed the brewers and the owners and the people who worked at the breweries. And we felt that we should promote, something that we really love and enjoy. And so we just started putting up pictures of us doing crazy stuff and having a great time. And, we wrote down a bunch of different names, and the Sanford Brew Crew won. And, we've continued that for a couple of years, and hopefully we'll do it for many, many more.
Nice. Well, I will say it's amazing. One of the things that you don't see in your pictures, and just Steve is the same way, and I'm the same way as well, is you don't see the kids. Is that something that's sort of intentional, that you don't keep them in there, or do they generally not come to the breweries with you? Kind of how is everybody's feeling about that?
So we have the 7 kids, but one who's sitting behind us is 23.
Okay.
So she is the legacy member. She is become a pretty good beer drinker. It's like her mom and dad. And her.
Okay, well, is she going to come in? Is she going to say hi? Is she going to tell us what she's drinking?
Yeah, she's on the floor.
Oh, well, sorry.
Yeah, it's horrible, right?
Yeah, no.
The kids really only come with us if we're out of town.
Gotcha.
We've gone to Asheville together and vacation together, and if we do stuff like that, then they'll come around with us just because it's getting out and about and seeing new things. But really, for the most part, they'd rather be by the Xbox or by themselves.
Because our other 2, they have a daughter and I have a daughter and they're friends, and then we have the twins and they have 2 sons and they're friends. So they just do their own thing, and we're off doing our own thing.
Doing our own thing.
It sounds like your kids are kind of like Steve's kid, in that way you can sort of leave them to their own devices, and it's okay.
Yeah,
Which they prefer.
Right.
they're all old enough.
I can't. So
Yeah, we've paid our dues.
Almost there. My kid's almost 13.
See? Perfect.
So you must have a youngster.
I
Yes.
have I got a 4-year-old, and it's funny because
Oh.
Steve and I and his son and my daughter went on a trip over to Fort Myers to do some podcasting, and there was one episode we shot at Millennial Brewing, and every so often you see this little hand come up out of the screen and ask me for more money for the pinball machines that they have there. So that's
funny.
always fun. So I guess, do you have a problem with kids in breweries? What is the sort of general feeling for the Sanford area? Because it seems to be the issue for people that are younger than us, if that makes any sense.
You'll see
We
kids
love
at
it.
it's like all the time, and I don't have a
Yeah.
problem. In fact, I love it when I see a kid, family
Yeah.
together enjoying beer outside. A lot of the breweries have outside areas. It's wonderful, and it's totally family
And
friendly.
honestly,
That's and everywhere we go, it's been like that. We go to Asheville, it's like that. You go to Denver, it's like that. That's what's great about the craft beer community, is that it is, the breweries are welcome and open to families, and kids in general.
So everybody in Sanford's pretty open to having kids. If we go there anytime, we will see children there.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
every single place.
All of the places have game sections for kids, whether it's inside or outside, whether you're playing bocce ball or ring toss, or you're playing Rock'em Sock'em Robots or another board game. There are many of them that have entire areas set up with video games, whether it's Xbox or some old classic Nintendo stuff.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and you can bring your older kids, give them $20 and tell them to go. There's stuff for kids to go
They
and have
vanish.
fun with too.
At Sanford.
Yeah,
at
Sanford.
I mean,
Yeah.
There's so many ice cream shops and
Shops,
candy
coffee
shops,
shops.
coffee shops. I mean, they
Yeah.
go walking down the street and have a good time and
Yeah.
get some
That's pretty-
exercise.
Yeah, so feel free, bring your 4-year-old. Make it a day.
I have absolutely no problem with that. So I guess
I
if
wish we had places like that when we had young kids, that we could
Yeah.
put them in a stroller and go drink beer and
Right.
have fun. Yeah, no, they didn't have that stuff when we had young kids.
it's funny, I'm going to give another shout out to 3 daughters. My daughter has been there every year of her life since before she was born. And I know the ownership has already said when she's 21, she has a job.
Nice.
You're raising
Okay,
her right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, works for me. So Another thing that I've noticed, and if you take a look at the pictures that are on your Instagram account, you were just in Orlando. You just went to Tactical.
Love that.
Are they have a military background, right?
Yes.
Army?
They all met. Did they meet in Afghanistan?
No,
A
Marine.
bunch of them did.
Yeah.
A bunch
Oh,
of them.
Marines. Okay, so they're
Yeah.
almost. Is that okay, Steve?
Well, as long as they have a crayon flavored beer at some point, yeah, it's fine.
Their beer is phenomenal. If you haven't been there, you have to go.
Tactical is.
Steve's a Navy guy, so that's why I had to say
We're,
that.
Well, they'll treat you nice. Don't worry.
Well,
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
fine.
Peter Hansen's a Navy guy. We're buddies with him too here in Florida. He's
Nice.
Another big beer
Peter.
guy.
He was the anti-Me Too movement with guys. He was on the Today Show for something.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
special.
Yeah, and,
So-
and we're the Sanford Brew Crew. I mean, we're based in Sanford, but we really feel like we're supporters of Orlando, Central Florida. I mean, from Tampa to the East Coast. I mean, we try to get out and about and taste as much as we can.
I
And
think we've gone to every brewery. We've gone to every brewery in Central Florida. Tampa's a little harder, but all the way down the coast. I mean, we've gone everywhere on the East Coast.
we like passing on good vibes for everybody.
Yeah, I was going to ask that because you've got a lot of footage and a lot of communication inward towards Orlando and that sort of area. It may just be that I haven't seen it, but I haven't seen a whole lot of the Vero, Daytona, and so on, that section. But you still do get out there, correct?
We do.
more of a
Ormond Brewing is one of our favorites over on the East Coast. Getting over to Tampa, we would love to because we have a lot of breweries that we really love over there. Up in
Mhm.
Jacksonville, we seem to hit quite a bit, but man, it's just such a big state. We wish we could hit more. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I'll
I'll tell you.
we generally take as a group, the four of us will go on a different trip. We try to at least once a year to a
Mhm.
different city in the country.
What are our Laura? What's our stats? So we went to Denver, and how many breweries and how many beers did we do?
Oh my God.
I don't know the total stat. It was 25 breweries and I don't even know how many.
3 days.
I think,
Yeah,
we
we did.
figured out we had like 70
Here's-
hours of actual brewery time, and we hit
25 breweries.
Yeah, that was 25 breweries. We did Dallas. That one we didn't do.
Oh, Dallas would be cool.
We only hit 17 in Dallas or something. It was.
Yeah,
it
we
was much
went a little
less.
slow on Dallas, only 17.
Yeah, Dallas was kind
And
of.
some-
You know,
Somebody told us you couldn't do 25 breweries in Denver, and we said, challenge accepted.
challenge
hit 20
accepted. We got
we
it.
hit 26 from Friday to Monday.
I always got to say this because it's just one of the best cities on earth, but Chicago is just amazing when it comes
You
to
know, we'll put it on the
breweries.
list.
That's awesome.
Chicago's
Yeah.
phenomenal. I'm trying to think of other good places.
Oregon?
We
Portland?
really
like to-
Portland, we have to
Yeah,
go to
at some
Portland.
point.
Yeah.
A lot of great- we did do
Oh,
California.
San Diego is also one of those ones that you have to
There you go.
do.
San Diego, I've heard too.
But I was just about to say, if you actually take a look a couple of episodes ago, the Sunshine State Happy Hour, I spoke to Washington Beer Blog, and you go to Ballard, you just park your car in front of Reuben's Brews, and it's probably a good 8 to 10 breweries that are in walking distance.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Yeah, and it's amazing. You just don't really realize it. If you do come down to South Florida, I guess give Steve and I a word of warning, and we will make sure that we pack the kids and the wives and we run as fast as we can.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's on our list.
Or we'll just meet you wherever.
Nice.
Well, we would love to pass on the same invitation. If you're coming up this way, please let us know. We'd love to show you.
Well, you said coffee, blonde, sour, so
Right. That's going to get us up there by itself.
We have to be in for it.
And I haven't been up to
From all
Sanford in
over.
probably almost 20 years.
Wow.
It's
Oh, it's
changed
gonna
a lot.
be, yeah. And there's like the side of town where like Wops is, and we have like throwbacks. There's so much cool stuff over there, but that side of town, you do not go to that side.
Last time I was there, I was actually managing the Goodings video store
Oh my
for
God.
Holy
yeah.
crap!
Oh yeah, yeah. It was that long. I was actually going to a full sale in Winter Park.
Yep.
That's
That is
crazy.
so funny. Good old Goodings.
Goodies.
Hello, Goodings.
there's one left. There is one left.
Is it still there over
Is there?
across from Disney?
Still there. It is
No
still
kidding.
there. Yeah, one left. It's funny because my wife grew up very close to where the flagship was.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. There's a name. Oh, there's a name. That's amazing.
Oh yeah.
You guys don't have Goodings up in Maryland, did you?
No.
No.
No, that was just a Florida thing.
Yeah, Central Florida thing.
Yeah,
I
that's a
never
good point.
left
I didn't know
Orlando.
that.
Yeah. So I shall leave you with the question, and I want this from everybody that I've been asking of everyone. Once this is over and we get back to normal, obviously a lot of breweries are making some changes to adapt to this temporary normal that we have. What is one thing that you have seen breweries do that you would like to have them keep and do basically from here on out?
I think that's easy for me. The to-go orders. I mean, I think a lot of the breweries have made their websites or Instagram pages or
Keeping up to date.
Just click and pull up and grab beers and go. I mean, there's some places that you would love to sit down and drink, but they're just always so busy. If you can click, pay, walk in with a box that's already made for you and walk out, I don't see any reason to not keep that going, even if we can sit in there. People would take advantage of that, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Rob, are you going to agree or are you going to buck the trend?
I completely agree. There's a lot of great beers that breweries have that you have to go there to get them. So if you can take that beer and have it at home and quickly and easily, just run to your fridge and grab it, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a 4-pack of Pilsners that Steve got me that's just like that I've been enjoying. No label or anything, but it's...
No. Gulfstream
That's what they
canned it fresh
Just
and
put a
didn't
label
label
on
it.
one of them. If you separate them and you mix them in your fridge, you're screwed. You're done.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the best was they explained it to me to where on the bottom of the can, it's actually stamped with what's in the can.
Oh, no kidding.
That's the only way to tell what's in there.
I love it.
Nice.
Gotta love it. All right. Well, thank you all so much for coming on. If you are interested in watching this particular train wreck of a dumpster fire, head to Sanford Brew Crew on Instagram. I actually do recommend it. It's a lot of fun, but you also get to learn a lot about the Central Florida brewing industry from these 4 people, so it's well worth it. One last shout out to Ashley, who is still chopping her potatoes. Probably we'll try to get you on a future episode. If you're interested in the Sunshine State Happy Hour and who we are, head to floridabeerblog.com or the Florida Beer Podcast. Tomorrow we are going to be welcoming the Pursuit of Happiness from Nashville, Tennessee, which is another great place for beer. They've got a couple wonderful breweries that I can definitely recommend, including one that has a chai latte stout, which I still have a bottle of. I'm going to be opening that tomorrow, definitely. So come back, check with us. We're on Facebook. The post for this is going to be on YouTube a little bit later on. Thank you so much for joining us, and drink Florida Craft.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
Thanks so much.
Cheers.